In today's video, I want to talk about some high-level changes that Topps is making to sports cards and whether or not those strategic business decisions are actually good for the collector. Let's dive in. So when Topps took over, or when Fanatics took over basically, they brought in some good and some bad. There was some cool innovation that they delivered, and most of the collectors were really feeling some of the ideas and really not liking others. I remember the first big announcement was the Wemby event to raffle off the number /99 autograph, and then the Frozen Fractors came at the same time, and people were very mixed on those. Seems like every time I get on social media now though and I see a post from Topps, so many of them are just focusing on Topps Now, and that's what I want to talk about. The number one thing Topps seems to be doing right now is trying to push the Topps Now products that have a 1 of 1, and I think a lot of this probably has to do with the success of the Olympic trifecta autograph with LeBron, Steph, and Kevin Durant. Stated print runs right here, there's almost 600,000 of these sold, with the logic that one lucky buyer was actually going to open his product to find this 1 of 1. But it doesn't stop there. Topps has been taking the same kind of concept and then introducing 1 of 1 versions in a lot of their chase cards now, and really trying to sell a dream of buying Topps Now and unwrapping a 1 of 1. Like here's this recent Paul Skeens, here's the Shohei 40-40 Club. This picture's terrible, but they also did it with Jaden Daniels and with Caleb Williams after his first start. So what are the ramifications for that? For me personally, I don't like it because I'd rather the innovation and energy go elsewhere, as in improving the products and the quality control, but I also get where they're coming from because as a business, it makes a lot of sense. If I go to the Topps Now website right now, I'm seeing a lot of soccer. Baseball, we got the first round of the MLB playoffs just winding down. But we see some of them that say they have a particular focus, like this Bobby Witt Jr. says look for auto relics. So they took Bobby's jersey or uniform or glove or something from this game and they have turned it into a 1 of 1 relic, and they're doing the exact same thing that they're doing that I showed earlier with all the other cards. And note that the price on these are $12 as opposed to the $9 we're seeing on everything else. And when you buy Topps Now, you can still get some parallels. So if I wanted to buy this Ryan Williams card to celebrate the 17-year-old receiver's insane game winner against Georgia, I can get the 1 of 1 autograph, I can get randomly inserted autographs. This one appears to be numbered to 5. And I think that you can pull some parallels as well. Other iterations just sell the parallels though. For example, when Nolan Chanjul got called up to play for the Angels, I bought this Topps Now and I got a parallel. I bought 20 of the cards and it's hard to see because it won't focus, but this one's numbered to 49. This was just randomly inserted. So obviously this one's worth a lot more than the normal cards, but they were also like $8 a piece, and then if you bought them in bulk, you paid less. In fact, it really is important to understand the structure of Topps Now before and after they started adding all these 1 of 1s, because it used to be $8 a card or $4 a card if you bought them in bulk. If you had enough Topps points, you could buy 20 cards at $4 for 80 bucks. You could roll your Topps points into a $40 off coupon and you could end up getting 20 cards for 40 bucks. You weren't going to hit an autograph, but you could pull a low numbered parallel, and all of those were pretty valuable. Now you're paying $9 a card or even $12 a card for the autographs. My big concern here is that Topps Now has basically turned the process into almost the equivalent of buying a lottery ticket. If you get a base card, it's not going to be worth anything at all. You're paying $12 for a card that's probably going to be worth 3 or 4, assuming you don't hit a parallel, hoping to hit the big jackpot. Look at this one, for example, the Shohei, the 50-50, which has the 1 of 1 autograph that looks exactly like this. There were 653,000 of them sold. Obviously, one collector, maybe a couple if they get lucky enough to hit a parallel, but a handful of collectors are going to be really happy with how this goes. The rest of the 650 some odd thousand people are going to be just losing money and left with a fairly obsolete card. It's a cool accomplishment from Shohei, but Topps Now cards have just never been in high demand. My other big concern is that from a business level, it makes too much sense. You're paying $12 a card, and they printed, what was the number? 653,000 of them. So they made almost $8 million in sales on this set. As a company, being able to print on demand's nice because it's immediately eliminating the overhead, the storage, the warehouse space. This is coming from a company who is used to creating products that they have to store until they sell. With these, they're just printing them on demand, they're shipping them out, and they never have to worry about them again, so they are making so much more money from Topps. I know the balance sheet really likes the Topps now. But for collectors, I don't know that it's a good thing. Another thing to note is these cards might not age as well as you think. Obviously, the triple autograph of LeBron, KD, and Steph's gonna be worth a lot, but if they start making these one-of-one Topps Now inserts for all the other cards that they release with Topps Now, it's going to water down the excitement around them. In the same way this print-on-demand Topps Now is kind of viewed as like halfway a brand, I think the one-of-one autographs will be kind of the equivalent of the like Panini white box one-of-ones that they send out. Maybe not a one-to-one, but both of them will not be held in as high regard to collectors as the one-of-ones that came out of the normal sets, because these are just one-of-ones that have been kind of added to the population by Topps just to monetize. We've written before on cardlines.com about how Topps is apparently killing quite a few baseball products and really slimming that down, and it seems like the focus is going from innovating new products to just these quick hit money-making Topps Now one-of-ones. I don't like it, but do you? Tell me why I'm wrong in the comments below, and come back next time for another video.